Hi, everybody. My name is Darlene Dotson. And as you know, we have the Sagittarius eclipse coming up. And I wanted to talk to you about it. And we're doing it again the old fashioned way. Because if you knew how busy my life was, you wouldn't even understand how I'm doing these. But the eclipse we're having in Sagittarius at 23 degrees, I wanted to talk to you about it because we have the sun and, of course, you know, the moon conjunct anytime we have a new moon solar eclipse. That's going to automatically happen. But it's also conjunct Mercury. So we're going to have a new beginning in voicing our wants, our power, okay? We're going to stop being quiet and voicing things. But, and because that is also trine Mars. So we've got to try to do it in a constructive way. We don't want to be lazy about it. We've got to use this energy. We've got to do it in a constructive manner. We can't let it pass us by, but we have to use it. Now, the thing is that Mercury that's conjunct this solar eclipse, okay, is square Neptune. And we can't believe everything that we're hearing. Neptune is otherworldly, okay? We want to speak our truth. We want to live in a higher vibration, but we're having a problem with it. And that goes back to our actions. We have to use our actions in a better way than what we've been doing. Now, another aspect that we're having on the eclipse is Uranus is square Jupiter. Well, Uranus is also conjunct Black Moon Lilith. Well, that we're going to have to overcome our fears of change and start doing the changing that needs to happen in order to get to the plentiful, in order to have the good things in our life. Because when we fear change and we hold on to everything that hasn't been working, we're not going to feel the good things are happening around us. So we do need to be aware that we've got to change in order for the good things to come into our life. Because, you know, Jupiter is plentiful. He's where we find our luck. Okay. Well, in order to find our luck right now, we are going to have to face our fears and change. That's all there is to it. Our ethics and morals have to change. Our financial situation has to change. And we've got to and that's also where Mars is, by the way, that is trining, you know, that new moon solar eclipse. So we want to use our ethics and morals with this change. And we want to make it a positive change for everybody. We want to be selfless and not selfish. That's all I can say here. Then, of course, we've still got the Pluto conjunct Jupiter, conjunct Saturn. And we're really looking internally at the structures that support us in our life and whether they have been good for us. Okay. And if they haven't, we're going to change our goals. We're going to change our dreams. We're going to change our friendships, the people that we have been hanging around. They're just going to dissolve. We're not going to allow things that have been going on in our life to continue on. We're in control of the change. But we have got to be able to take responsibility for ourselves in the part of all of this and start that progress to change. Now, the North Node is in Gemini, okay? And I'm here to tell you, we have been going back and forth about issues. You can see it in the political arena. We can see it in our personal lives, how we feel frustrated with certain situations. Well, we've got to make a decision here, and we've got to stick by it, and we got to move forward with it. There is no more going back and forth. Yes, Gemini rules, you know, going back and forth. Okay, but I can tell you Gemini is also, they're very smart people. They think things out first. And we have to think things out before we move, you know, in a direction that just isn't helping us. Now, know that this North Node is opposing Mercury, which that Mercury is conjunct the new moon. So the solar eclipse. So know that things are going to be changeable within our own power over the next 6 months. This is a very strong eclipse. And I do want to say Sagittarius also rules the 9th house. And Jupiter is also ruled by it. You know, so there's going to be a lot of changes in our government structure over the next 6 months. And, you know, we're going to have to dissolve old ways of being in order to make the transformation that we need to make everybody happy. It's a matter of making everyone happy, and those structures have to dissolve in order to bring the good for everybody. Because as we know, in a few days, Jupiter and Saturn will be entering Aquarius. We're at the very last degrees of Capricorn with them. And the old regime here is falling, and a new regime is going to come in that's more humanitarian and good for society as a whole. Then we also have Venus, okay, which is again also at the last degrees of Scorpio. And we're having to look at our jealousy issues of what other people have. We're having to look at, you know, how we suppress other people, our own dark side. And again, we have got to crush them, you know, in order to make this transformation that needs to happen within our own goals and dreams and friendships, you know, because we know that the way we've been in the past, the structures just aren't going to work for us anymore. So, you know, we got to be ready for that change and allow that change, you know. And I mean, that Venus is sextile Jupiter conjunct Saturn, and it's conjunct Pluto, okay? And we've got to be ready to get rid of the darkness in our own lives in order to have that promise that we want. And I mean, you know, we've got, like I said, Mercury squaring Neptune. That's the other world. We want to live in a higher state of being, but yet we are using our actions in ways that say we don't. So you have to ask yourself what's really important to you, and stop living in an illusion of who you are and what your life's about. You've got to create the life that you want. Why, yes, there's always, God or the universe or the energies or Muhammad, whatever belief that you may have. Okay, we always have that higher realm that we have to live by. But is it casting an illusion on our own power? Is it making us powerless? Okay, that's what we have to look at. We have to look at the illusions we have painted for ourselves in our lives, that that the powers were there, that the powers were always going to take care of us, because that we see right now that they're not, and things have to change. So that is the solar eclipse. All I can tell you is get ready for a whole lot of change, because what we've known, it will not be here in 6 months. Things will get better, but we've got to face our own fears with changes in order to find the goodness in our life. So I am using the psychic cards for this solar eclipse in Sagittarius. Oh boy. Heart chakra. Okay. Again, where are you not looking at your fears? Where are your fears leading your life? You can't let fears lead your life. They're blocking your heart, which you want in your life. Your heart chakra needs to open up to a different way of being, to people around you. You need to be truthful. You need to be honest. You need to be loving, okay? You can't blame other people for where you're standing, because where you're standing at is your own fault. It's of your own making. It is nobody's fault for where you're standing but yourself. You have to take action in order to create the life that you want, but you have to do it in a humanitarian way, in a heartful way, in a loving way, in order to open up to the good things in life. We can't let the old regime, the old way of being, keep us closed off and think that everybody's out to hurt us, okay? We have got to go and create the world that we want, and that means we have to open our hearts to other people. Yes, use your heart to discern who is healthy and who is not. You'll know by the actions that they create. If they finger point and they blame and they don't take responsibility for their own actions in their own life, then you know, okay, that they're just somebody, you don't have to talk about them. You don't have to hurt them in any way. Just move on, because karma will take care of everything in life. And that's what you've got to do. Okay, you've just got to move on and let things go. you know, me, just going to give you a little story. I had a new couch delivered, okay, by Rooms to Go. Yes, I got to go to court. Okay, they ripped my floor. I don't own this house. And a floor for where I live will cost $2,500 to $3,000 to replace. I didn't even pay that much for the couch. Okay, so I'm having to file a lawsuit. I'm not going to let their way of being inflict on me. But I also know that I've got to live in a higher minded way by facing this in a court of law. I have no choice. I don't have that kind of money just to go buy a new floor because delivery men do not know how to deliver furniture. And I paid for the delivery. That's what gets me. Okay. And they were so unprofessional. But that is for a court of law to decide. It's not for me to decide. I'm not going to put them down. I'm just going to do what I have to do to get accomplished what I need to accomplish. Because it's not up to me to take responsibility for somebody's actions. Yes, I've got to face this situation because it's money, okay, money that I don't have. And I know that it will work itself out in the end. So yes, I got to take action here. And Sagittarius rules 9th house. Okay, Jupiter rule, that's the court of law also. So time for me to get this situated over the next 6 months. But in an everyday mundane life, okay, we have to use our higher minds to know what we need to fight for and what we need to let go of, because people will always try to walk on us if we allow it, okay? But we don't have to fight with everybody about everything. We just need to choose what fights that we do fight. And we need to use our voice in a way and our actions in a way that show that we don't mean harm to anybody. We just want others to do what's right in our life. And if they can't, then we need to move on in a direction without them. Now, granted, I will never use this furniture company again. And I have already bought a bed from them on top of the couch that I just bought. So they've lost a customer, unless they make this right. But I got to go to court in order for them to make it right, because they don't want to take responsibility for their delivery men. But yet they make me pay a delivery service. So this is just one way that this new solar eclipse is playing out. Just remember to use your higher mind in everything and open your heart chakra to love, okay? Just be loving and everything will work out. Well, happy new solar eclipse, and I wish you many blessings. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.